everyone, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm Jason, your host, and today I'm joined by my amazing co-host, Julia. Hi, Julia.
Hi, Jason. Hello to all our listeners. We're so happy you're here with us again.
Yes, absolutely. Every week we bring you tips, ideas, and real conversations to help you improve your English and also your life skills. And today, we're talking about something very powerful. Our topic is discipline is everything.
That's right. Many people think success comes from talent or luck, but actually, discipline plays a much bigger role. Whether you're learning English, studying for exams, or working on your dreams, discipline is the key that keeps you moving forward.
Exactly. In today's episode, we're going to explain what discipline really means, why it's so important, and how you can build discipline in your own life, especially in your English learning journey.
And we'll also share some practical tips and simple steps you can use right after this episode to stay on track and make real progress.
So stay with us, listen carefully, and maybe even take some notes. This episode is going to help you not only improve your English, but also improve your habits.
All right, Jason, let's jump right in and start with the question. What is discipline?
So, Julia, before we go deeper, let's start with the basics. When we say discipline, what does that really mean? Because some people think it's just being strict or punishing yourself.
Yes, that's true, Jason. Many people hear the word discipline and think about rules, punishment, or something very hard. But actually, discipline is much more positive. It means training yourself to do something regularly and consistently, even when you don't feel like it.
So it's like building a good habit?
Exactly. Discipline is like a personal coach inside you. It helps you stay on track with your goals. For example, waking up early to study, practicing English every day, or exercising even when you're tired, that's discipline.
I like that. So discipline is not about being harsh. It's about choosing the right actions again and again until they become a habit.
Yes, and it's also about self-control. You control your time, your energy, and your focus instead of letting distractions control you.
That's so true. For example, instead of watching social media for hours, a disciplined learner might decide to spend just 20 minutes practicing English listening. It's a small action, but repeated every day, it makes a huge difference.
Right. And the good news is, discipline is not something you are born with or without. Anyone can develop it, just like a muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger it becomes.
Perfect. So listeners, think of discipline as your secret tool. It's not punishment, it's freedom. It gives you the power to reach your goals.
Beautifully said, Jason. And now that we know what discipline really means, let's talk about why it's so important in life.
Now that we understand what discipline really is, let's talk about why it's so important in life. Julia, why do you think discipline matters so much?
Well, Jason, discipline is like the foundation of a house. Without it, everything else can fall apart. You can have dreams, talent, or even good ideas, but without discipline, you won't take the daily actions to make them real.
That's true. I've seen so many people start something with excitement, but stop after a few days because they don't have discipline to continue.
Exactly. Discipline gives you consistency, and consistency is what creates results in your health, in your studies, in your career, and even in relationships.
I like that word, consistency. It's like when you go to the gym. One workout won't change your body, but small workouts over time will.
Yes, and it's the same with English learning. One lesson won't make you fluent, but studying a little every day will. Discipline turns small steps into big achievements.
Another thing I've noticed is that discipline gives you freedom. People think discipline is limiting, but actually it helps you control your time and energy. When you're disciplined, You finish important tasks faster, and then you have more free time.
Absolutely. It also builds self-respect. When you keep your promises to yourself, like I will study 15 minutes a day, you start to trust yourself more. That trust becomes confidence.
That's powerful. So discipline not only helps you reach goals, but it also shapes your character. You become someone people can rely on.
Right. And this isn't just for adults or professionals. Even students, children, and people learning English can benefit. Discipline is a skill for everyone, everywhere.
So, listeners, think of discipline as your best friend. It's what takes your dreams from paper to reality.
Exactly. And now, since our podcast is all about English learning, let's connect this idea directly to how discipline can help you improve your English.
So, Julia, our podcast is all about helping people improve their English. How exactly does discipline connect to learning a language?
It's a great question, Jason. Learning English is not something that happens overnight. It's a process like planting a tree. You water it a little every day, and slowly it grows. Discipline is the water. Without it, the tree doesn't survive.
I like that image. A lot of learners start with enthusiasm, maybe buy a book or download an app, but after a few days they stop. Without discipline, the progress disappears.
Yes, discipline keeps you showing up even when you don't feel like studying. For example, deciding to practice speaking for just 10 minutes a day, even on busy days, can completely change your confidence over time.
And the good thing is, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent. Like listening to one podcast episode each day, reading a small article, or writing a short note in English. Those small actions build your skills.
Exactly. Many successful English learners I've met didn't have special talent. They simply created a routine and followed it. One person I know listened to English radio every morning while brushing his teeth. After a year, his listening skills improved a lot.
That's a great story, and it's so simple. The key is making English a part of your daily life, not just a subject you study once a week.
Right. And when you're disciplined with your English practice, you also build self-discipline in other areas: time management, patience, and focus. All of these skills help you succeed not only in language learning but also in work and life.
So, listeners, think about your own routine. Are you practicing English only when you feel motivated, or do you have a small daily habit? That small daily habit is discipline, and it's your secret advantage.
Well said, Jason. And now that we've looked at the positive side, maybe we should also talk about the common challenges people face when trying to be disciplined.
Julia, we've talked about how powerful discipline is, but let's be honest, it's not always easy. What are some common challenges people face when trying to stay disciplined?
That's a great point, Jason. One big challenge is procrastination, delaying things because you don't feel like doing them. People say, "I'll study English tomorrow," but tomorrow never comes.
Yes, procrastination is a big one. Another challenge I see is distraction. We live in a world full of notifications, social media, and entertainment. It's so easy to lose focus.
Absolutely. Even a small distraction can break your routine, and then you feel guilty, which makes it harder to start again.
Right. And sometimes people set goals that are too big, like, I'll study English for 2 hours every day, but then they can't keep up. That can make them feel like they failed, even though they just aimed too high.
Exactly. Starting too big is another common mistake. It's better to start small and be consistent. Even 10 or 15 minutes a day is better than nothing.
I also think motivation can be a challenge. Some days you just don't feel inspired to study or practice.
Yes, and that's completely normal. The secret is to do it anyway. Even a small effort counts. That's where discipline is stronger than motivation.
So listeners, If you're facing procrastination, distractions, or lack of motivation, you're not alone. Everyone struggles with these things.
The good news is there are simple steps to overcome these challenges and build stronger discipline. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about next.
Okay, Julia, now comes the big question. We know discipline is important, and we know the challenges, but how can our listeners actually build it in their own lives?
Good question, Jason. The key is to take small, clear steps. Discipline isn't something that happens overnight. It grows slowly, like a muscle. The first step is to set small, realistic goals.
Right. Instead of saying, I'll study English for 2 hours every day, start with something like, I'll practice speaking for 10 minutes each morning. That feels possible.
Exactly. When goals are small and clear, your brain feels less resistance. After you succeed with small goals, you can increase the time or difficulty.
What would be the next step?
Step 2 is to create a routine. Pick a regular time and place for your habit. For example, listening to an English podcast every morning while having breakfast, or writing 3 new sentences in English every night before bed.
I like that. Routines remove decision-making. You don't ask, should I study? You just do it, like brushing your teeth.
Exactly. Step 3 is to use reminders and tools. Set an alarm on your phone, use a calendar, or keep a checklist. These little cues help you stay on track until the habit becomes automatic.
That's a great tip. I sometimes put sticky notes on my desk with the phrase, practice English. It sounds silly, but it works.
It does. Step 4 is to track your progress. Write down what you did each day. Seeing your progress motivates you to keep going.
That's true. Even a simple notebook with check marks can be surprisingly powerful.
Step 5 is to reward yourself. After completing your daily habit, give yourself a small reward like a short break, a piece of chocolate, or listening to your favorite song. It makes the brain associate discipline with something positive.
I love that. Rewards make the process enjoyable instead of boring.
And finally, step 6 is to be patient and forgive yourself. If you miss a day, don't quit. Just start again the next day. Discipline is about progress, not perfection.
That's such an important point. Many people think one mistake means they've failed, but actually, it's normal. The winners are the ones who get back up and continue.
Yes, and over time, these steps, small goals, routine, reminders, tracking, rewards, and patience will make discipline part of your identity.
So listeners, take a moment and think about one small action you can start today for your English learning. Maybe listening to one podcast a day, or writing 5 new words. Start small, be consistent, and your discipline will grow.
Exactly. And in the next part of our episode, we're going to talk about some mistakes people make about discipline so you can avoid them and stay on track.
Julia, we've shared a lot of tips so far, but I think it's also important to talk about mistakes. What are some common mistakes people make when it comes to discipline?
That's a great point, Jason. One big mistake is thinking discipline is about being perfect all the time. People believe if they miss one day, they've failed and should give up. But discipline is about consistency, not perfection.
Yes, exactly. Another mistake is thinking discipline means being harsh or punishing yourself. Some people try to push too hard, too fast. They set huge goals, feel overwhelmed, and then quit.
Right. And some people also think discipline is only for serious or strict people. But really, anyone can practice discipline in a kind and gentle way. It's not about being hard, it's about being steady.
I like that, kind and steady. So, listeners, don't fall into these traps. Don't aim for perfection. Don't punish yourself. And don't believe discipline is only for special people.
Exactly. Discipline is your friend. It's like a guide that helps you move forward step by step. And the good news is, you can start practicing it right now in small ways.
Perfect. And speaking of motivation, in the next part, we're going to share some inspiration and real-life connections to help you stay disciplined on your journey. Julia, before we finish, I think our listeners could use a little motivation. Discipline sounds great, but it can still feel hard. How can we inspire them to keep going?
That's true, Jason. One thing I always tell my students is, discipline creates freedom. At first, it feels like you're making rules for yourself, but actually you're opening doors. For example, if you study English a little every day, soon you'll be able to travel, get better jobs, and talk to more people. That's freedom.
I love that. And if you look at successful people, athletes, artists, business leaders, they're not always the most talented. They're the most consistent. Their discipline built their success, one small action at a time.
Exactly, and you don't have to be famous to see results. We've seen ordinary people improve their English just by sticking to a simple daily habit. In a year, their life looks completely different.
So listeners, think about your own goals. What could change in your life if you stayed disciplined with English for just 6 months? Imagine the confidence you'd feel speaking to someone new.
That's a powerful image, and remember, every time you practice English, even for a few minutes, you're investing in your future self.
Beautifully said, Julia. And to help you start, we have a small practice activity for you coming up next. All right, listeners, now it's your turn. We've talked a lot about discipline today, but we want you to actually practice it. Julia, what's a simple activity they can start right now?
Here's something easy but powerful. Grab a piece of paper or open the Notes app on your phone. Write down one small English habit you can do every day for the next 7 days. It could be listening to an English podcast for 10 minutes, learning 3 new words, or writing one short paragraph in English.
Yes, and keep it realistic. Don't choose something huge. Choose something small that you're confident you can do daily.
Exactly. And once you've chosen your habit, set a reminder. Maybe a phone alarm or a sticky note on your desk. This will help you remember.
Then, at the end of the week, look back at your notes and see how many days you completed it. Even if you only do 5 out of 7 days, that's progress. That's discipline growing.
Right. And if you enjoy the activity, you can keep doing it or even add another small habit. This is how discipline builds, step by step.
So listeners, pause for a moment after this episode and write your one small daily English habit. That's your first step toward stronger discipline.
Perfect. And now, Jason, shall we wrap up today's episode with a quick summary and goodbye?
All right, listeners. That's it for today's episode on Discipline is Everything. We hope you enjoyed it and learned some practical tips to improve your English and your daily habits.
Yes, remember, discipline isn't about being perfect or strict. It's about small, consistent actions every day. Start small, stay consistent, and you'll see amazing results over time.
Absolutely. And don't forget to try our mini practice activity. Write down one small English habit and stick to it for a week. It's your first step toward building strong discipline.
We'd love to hear from you, too. Share your progress, your questions, or your success stories with us in the comments or on our social media.
Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe to the English Learning Podcast so you never miss an episode.
And remember, listeners, discipline is the key to your success in English, in life, and in everything you do.
That's right. Stay disciplined, stay motivated, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Goodbye, everyone, and happy learning.